Welcome back, you beautiful people. And today we're going to be talking all about the filter concepts in Excel. And I want you to, we're still on the sort filter file under level one. I just want you to come over to sheet three and let's begin. So to start with, some of you may be wondering what exactly does filtering mean and how is it different from sort. So I'm just quickly going to explain it here. So sort rearranges a data array but does not sieve out any elements from the original array. However, filter sieves out certain elements from the original data array based on some condition. So I'm going to explain that very quickly. So with this series 1 to 10, as we talked about in the last lesson, if I go to the sort function under data tab, I come over to the sort tab and I can sort it whether from smallest to largest or largest to smallest or by some custom list. But whichever way I do it, I'm just going to pick largest to smallest. Whichever way I do it, those 10 original elements are still intact. None of them were sieved out. Whereas for filter, if I'm to filter it, the filter tab is under the data tab as well, right next to the sort. So this is the filter tab here. But for filter, when you press the filter tab, the filter icon comes here. I can filter it based on some condition. So I can filter. Let me say I want 5, 7, and 9 alone. 5, 7, and 9, and you can see the original series has been shrunk to just 5, 7, and 9. The unwanted elements were sieved out. So I can as well sieve it. Maybe I want those numbers that are greater than, say, greater than 6. And you can see it gives me 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those elements are greater than 6. And the rest, it does away with them. So that's just the basic difference between sort and filter. So now let's get back to our case. Okay, so now in this case here, we have potential clients that we are marketing to, the country that are located in, are located in India. The cities in India, they are located in Kolkata, Gurgaon, Mumbai, etc. Then the location, this is like the name of the office building within that city they are located in. Park Plaza, Shantiniketan. And some of these office buildings have several they also have buildings in multiple cities. So like Shantiniketan has a building in Kolkata, Shantiniketan also has a building in Gurgaon, and so on. Then the amount we've spent marketing to them. Okay, so now I may ask you to filter out only those clients that contain the word mails in their name. So now, what some people do is that they just highlight the heading. They highlight the heading and come over to filter. They click on filter. Once you click on filter, it brings up the filter icons right next to the headings here. So, but we want to filter by client name. So they come to filter by client name and they go to text filter. We're looking, when you open text filter, it gives you different conditions: equals to, does not equal to, begins with, ends with. But we're looking for those that contain mails. So I'll click on contains and I'll just type in mails. It's not case sensitive. Okay, and this seems to work. It gives us those two clients that have mails in their name. These two clients right here. But the problem with this technique is that if there is a blank, so I'm going to insert a blank here. If there is a blank and you try again to filter for those that contain mails, you will notice that it stopped at the blank. It was only able to filter one that was before the blank. So the proper technique to this, let me just go back. Okay. The proper technique to this, the way you should do it is you should highlight the entire data block. So we can do that with Control Shift left, then all the way down. There we have it. So now we can come back to the filter tab under the data tab. So I'm going there, filter. I've pressed it once, I can come out. Then I go to the filter icon next to client name and text filter, and I'm looking for those that contain mails. Okay, and you can see that works perfectly. Okay, so now what if we've done number one? So okay, but what if I ask you to find the total of these um clients we filtered out, these clients that contain mails, find the sum of their amounts. You may say, okay, that's easy. I just enter equals to sum, autocomplete, drag them down, press enter. But this answer is obviously wrong. We should be getting something around 100,000. We're getting 26 million. So what's the problem? The problem is that when you are trying to find any kind of calculation, be it a sum, an average, a max, whatever, of a filtered list, you should always use the subtotal formula. Subtotal formula via alt equals to. So do not manually type in the formula. Do not even manually type in the subtotal. So what I mean is this: if I had if I had pressed alt equals to, you see it gives me the right answer, 108,000. And if I look into this subtotal formula, let me just explain the components of subtotal formula. So you notice the parameters are function number and reference. So um, this function number is basically whichever calculation you want to do for the filtered list. So I'll delete 9 and show you. So you can see it's asking, do you want an average, do you want a count, a max, a mean, and so on. But for now, we wanted a sum. So that's why I entered 9. So you can either enter 9 or just double click here, right? Then press enter and it gives you the answer. Then this other element of the subtotal formula is just talking about the selection. And the reason why I say you should always use the alt equals to is because when you use the alt equals to for subtotal, it considers the whole data block. That data block started just below client name, that's from 12, and it went all the way to 266. So it considers the whole data block. Now, why is this important? If I had manually entered subtotal, right? Let's say I manually entered subtotal by typing it out, autocomplete. Then I entered sum and I selected these two manually. You can see that it doesn't go all the way from 12 to 266 as it did before. It's just going from 13 to 256. And if I try and enter that, although it gives me the same answer, the problem with manually typing out subtotal is this. If I decide, okay, fine, um, I'm now interested in finding those clients that have India in their name, and I come over to the filter to text filters, contains, and I type out India, and I look into the formula. It is using the setting for males, which was 13 to 256, is not considering the entire data block, which would be from 12 to 260.